Hey guys, it's Abby. I will point out first of all that my voice is different today because I'm getting over a respiratory cold. Um, it's probably a bit lower than it normally is and a little rougher, but I thought, oh, what the heck, I might as well try to record something just so I have some variety. You never know. My guess is that I'll have less control over my vocals because of it, but we'll see. Um, there's also a sound I hopefully can edit out. The faucet in the tub is leaking, and I thought I fixed the problem because it stopped leaking after I did the repair. And I can do repairs, and yet, like 3 weeks later, it started leaking again, which makes no sense. If I replaced the part that was causing the issue. And it's definitely the same water source. It's the hot water. So I have to be very careful because my feet might get in line of the laser-like quality of this hot water trickling down. And I could get scalded if I'm not careful. So hopefully I can edit that out and you can hear my voice a little bit better. But I wasn't going to do any recording this week because of my voice, but then I thought, experiments can be a lot of fun. And I wanted to see what happened if I tried to speak with a rougher, fuller voice than normal. Don't worry, if I cough, I'll edit that out. But the weather's turned, and yeah, I know, just starting talking about the weather, it's boring, but sometimes I like to break the ice with weather, just like we're having a real conversation in person. So that's what I would talk about. But it has gotten a lot colder, and I don't think I'm ready for winter yet. I say that as a fall girly, but I'm not ready for snow. So I hope it holds out a little while longer. Today I was blowing leaves with a leaf blower, and it can be fun, but it also gets pretty monotonous if you have a lot of leaves to blow. And I was blowing leaves for like, I don't know, 2 hours, I think, altogether. It was a lot of leaves. And you start getting frustrated because then the wind will pick up right as you're about to, let the leaves settle in the correct place. You've gotten them to the end of the line. In my area, they do a street pickup. They'll suck up the leaves every 2 weeks, I think it is. And so I was trying to get them out there to the line. And then the wind would pick up right in the middle, and then they blow all the way to the right into the nice cleared off space I already had done. Oh, it was a bummer. But I sometimes feel like that is a reflection of some of these chores that we do. And I'm not against chores. I like a clean house as much as the next person. But sometimes when you're in a rush and you think, well, let me just get it done, get the dishes done, or get the vacuuming done, or clean the sink, or clean the tub, or, whatever it is. And then 5 minutes later, it's dirty again. Oh, there's just something about that makes me feel insane. So sometimes if I have just done a bunch of chores, like all of them, especially if it's like a big chore, one that you don't do as often, like one that's like, a bi-weekly thing, or Is that right? Does that mean every 2 weeks? I think I know these things off the top of my head, but I don't. But yeah, so if it's something you do like, twice a month, or once a month, if it's one of those tasks, I'll do the chore, feel good about myself, and then I'll leave the house so that it's clean, it's not getting messed up while I'm there to witness it, and then I've kind of had a break so that then I can come back and, to reset, and that's fine then. I think I'm just more susceptible on days when I'm feeling frustrated about other things. Those don't happen often. I'm a fairly chill person, I would say, especially on anxiety medication. I try to be chill. It takes a lot to get me upset, very tolerant of a lot of things, and very willing to talk things out most of the time, or acknowledge my faults most of the time. I won't say it's all the time. Sometimes I'm blind, just like everybody, but I do like to talk things out. I don't like leaving things unspoken, unresolved. And I would say, for me, taking time to cool off can help. I don't know how this transitioned into what happens in an argument, but, say you have an argument. I need some time to cool off. If I'm just being crazy, like I'm just reactive, then cooling off works. But if I'm in the right, and I'm the cool-headed one in the situation, which sometimes I am, or at least I'm, 50% correct. If I know I'm correct, like there's evidence to back it up, or someone else has confirmed it, someone outside the argument, it's really hard for me to just walk away and then come back, because I keep thinking, I just want to resolve this. This is so silly. Why are we fighting over this thing? Let's just resolve it and be done. I don't want to carry this anxiety and this pain around in my chest anymore. Are any of you like that? You really don't want to be hoarding your anger and like holding it close like a blanket. I don't like being angry. I don't like other people being angry with me. Maybe no one really likes this, but some people I feel handle it better than I do. I do not handle conflict well. I like to resolve it, but sometimes it makes it so that I am intuitive about what other people are thinking and feeling, and I'll try to work out their little puzzle brain so that I can find a way to explain to them my perspective in a way that they might better understand. Sometimes it works, sometimes they're just mad and don't want to talk, and I never know what to do with that, because I don't like that. That is something about me. I think most people know. I better have a sip. I accidentally almost choked on the ice. I spilled it all over myself. I'm a mess. I wasn't expecting the ice to shoot out into my mouth. I have some hydrating beverage. It's like an extra hydration beverage for when you get dehydrated. I know, obvious. But it's nice for when you're in a really hot bath. And like I said, I was out blowing leaves and I got really cold, and I'm still, getting over this thing, whatever it is. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to get in a hot tub and I'm going to drink my hydrating beverage. Because when I get in a hot tub, I'm sure many of you, I like my water really hot. And that means sometimes it's scalding, which feels really good to my brain. I think I've mentioned it's like a distraction, and it also penetrates the muscles that are kind of stiff and sore. And so I will do a really hot tub, as hot as I can stand without like withdrawing my skin. You know, if I put a foot in, like I'll do as hot as I can, and then kind of like power through it. It's really weird. It's probably a little masochistic, but it feels really nice once I get past that. And then it cools off pretty quickly because it's, you know, it's a decent size cast iron tub. Where am I going with this? Yeah, and so in the tub, when you take a bath that's that hot, you're like sweating. Anywhere that's not in the water, you're sweating. And so I get dehydrated pretty fast, and so I always have to have something to drink. Sometimes it's just like, let's see, what do I like to drink in the tub? Water, obviously. That's always a good one. Ice water, specifically. Occasionally I'll have a hot beverage like tea, you know, an herbal tea. Coffee is really nice. I like to do a blend of regular, freshly ground coffee and French chicory root. You know, it's ground just like coffee, and you do a mixture of that, and you put it in the French press, and you let it steep in the boiling water for like 5 to 10 minutes. Then you strain it out by pressing down on the press handle of the French press. And then it leaves this really quite rich coffee flavor. It's like a very fast, fancy coffee, in my opinion. And then I'll add it to some almond milk. I like almond milk because I'm a little bit lactose sensitive, and I think almond milk's good in coffee, but it's never quite rich enough. Like, it doesn't dilute it enough. I like a creamy coffee, and so recently, because the holidays are coming up, I have Cool Whip in my fridge. It's off-brand. It's like whipped topping or something. You know, it's good. And I like to put some of that in the top of the coffee. And sometimes I'll even add a little bit of monk fruit sweetener to it, which is like a sugar-free sweetener. So it's not like overly sweet, but it does have different flavors then. So you have the coffee flavor, whichever, you know, coffee you choose and grind. And then you have the chicory flavor, which is different. It's almost a little more acidic, but like in a berry way. Like you get that berry flavor almost. And then so like today, I did hazelnut monk fruit sweetener. And it was really good. I didn't do a lot, just a little bit, because then I put the whipped cream, which does have sugar in it. It's not very much, but I didn't want to be like hopped up. It would make it like, not, you know, it'd be too much. And so I mixed that up, and I put the whipped cream on top, put the lid on so that it's melting on the top, so every time you sip it, you get this like little bit of a creamy, frothy, sweet topping with your coffee, and it's really yummy. So I did that today, but not for the bath, because I'm just like sweating it out right now. Like so sweaty. And I sweat very easily. Maybe that's too much information, but like I don't think I'm built for most climates. I think I'm intended for an arid climate, because I think I sweat a lot. And I think it's intended to, like, you know, like evaporate and cool me, and it's like this great evolutionary development thing, and I'm in the wrong climate most of the time, because most places are not like that. But it's fine. But I generally feel a lot better having a nice hot tub. It can clear the sinuses out, and, you know, just make you feel like refreshed, or even just tired, but in a good way, like worn out, but like rested, sleepy. So I would advise, if you have access to a tub of some kind, I mean a shower works too, if you're feeling like, if you're in a mode where you think that you don't like yourself, maybe because you've done something you regret, or you're sick. I mean, generally when we're sick, we can get kind of down on ourselves because we're not getting all the things done that we wish we were, you know, and it can get us a little bit down, and we can start beating ourselves up. Take a hot bath or a hot shower and rinse all of that negativity off of you. And it really does help, because I think we sweat toxins out through our skin. And so if we rinse all those toxins off of us, they don't get reabsorbed and they don't hang around. And this isn't like woo-woo, this is science. I'm just saying it in a way that's a little bit more woo-woo. But essentially, cleaning ourselves off can make us feel refreshed to face whatever it is we're wanting to face, and to feel better about who we are. And that's why it's important, you know, for people who don't have access to, you know, like running water. It's a fact. A lot of people don't. I think it must be so hard to deal with when you feel like that, when you feel down on yourself, and you feel like everybody hates you. To be able to rinse off that negativity, cleanse yourself. I wonder if this is where the idea of baptism comes from. I'm not a religious person, so if any of you, you know, practice any faiths that utilize water as a cleansing ritual, I feel like that's what it is. It's cleansing us to step into our next phase of life, whether that's the next day, the next moment, a milestone, a spiritual phase, whatever it may be for you. And I think water is very purifying, as long as it's, you know, we have access to it. And so that's why I think it's good to remember how lucky we are to have these things. Like right now, I have a leaky faucet, but it's a running water leaky faucet. That's clean water that's coming out of that from my bath. And I'm so lucky to have that in my life, and to have access to these luxuries that a lot of people in the world do not. So it's just something to think about. Not a lecture, just a friendly, that's interesting. Perspective check. I like to give myself those every so often. I don't generally get down on my life, not on purpose. As I said, I do have chronic chemical depression. It's treated, don't worry, that's something I deal with. But I generally know when it's happening, because I don't have any reason to be upset. Like, my life is really good. And if I'm actually upset about something, like, I know when I am. So if I'm just feeling depressed, like just really, really darkly down, and I don't know why, I'm like, I gotta say, hey, Abby, it's just your brain. Let it do its thing. It'll go away. And I just kind of have to keep an eye on it, because my life, in pretty much all the main ways, is really great. And if it's got a hiccup here and there, like, I can deal with it. I have the power, I have the strength to deal with it for the most part, or weather it if it's that kind of situation. And I think we should tell ourselves that more. Like, we have the power to get through this. We are capable of getting through this, and that is amazing. It is amazing of us. We should be proud of ourselves for getting through things. But yeah, I have one of my favorite candles lit. I don't know when it's gone. I don't even know what the brand is. I don't think it has a brand on it, but it has a sticker, and I think I've read it before, and it says, "Black cats hiss, pumpkins grin, let the eerie fun begin." And it has this black cat silhouette on it. And the label's kind of roughened up on the edges from like handling it. On the sides has little dents in it, and then the light shines through just a little bit at the top where the flame is at, you know, in its progression. And it's got little bits of wax on the inside, kind of like foggy. And the color of the candle actually changes from top to bottom. It's a amber, like a candy corn, but like more earthy, an earthy tone. And yeah, it's one of my favorite candles. It's one of the most simple. It has a little lid for it that's like, I don't know, it feels good to like suction it in place. It's got like a rubber thing around the rim, and then it has like a flat top that is like half-inch thick maybe. And you push it into place, and it's very satisfying. And you can put the candle out that way because the inside, I mean, it's unlikely to catch fire. It has the plastic, I suppose, but it's unlikely to catch fire, and it has glass, so I can put the candle out because you cut off the oxygen source, and so the flame will go out. So I occasionally do that. Sometimes I blow on it, though, because it can feel a little bit like witchy and magical to be able to blow a candle out. You just have to be careful, though, because you don't want to throw hot wax up all over the place, because you're like blowing too hard, and it's like, you know, you don't want to do that. So, yeah. Well, I think I better give my voice a rest. I'll see what this sounds like, actually, with headphones and everything. It might sound like a completely different person, but that could be interesting, too, I guess. So, you have a lovely day, or a lovely night, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.